The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I cannot believe how many people jumped in from 8:58 to 9:01. Everybody's like, boom. It's so cool having these controls to watch this and see who's on here. And oh, good morning, everybody. So Deanna and I were just kind of talking about Feedly and Buffer and uh, kind of some of the technical parts of it. And I said, I knew this would be attended a little bit less than maybe a Facebook training, but sure enough, in the last couple of minutes, you guys jumped on. Man,
I had
um,
faith. I had
yeah,
faith that they would join us.
exactly. So, good morning, everybody. God, I'm just babbling already. And too bad I record these things and people can see me sound like a weirdo over and over. All right, so let's get started, Deanna. So today is Feedly and Buffer. If you don't know what that is, oh boy, I feel bad for your brain cells. And if you do, are using it already, there's going to be really good homework assignments and things that you've never seen and heard of before, because I know I just learned some stuff in the last 20 minutes with Deanna. So let's get rolling. I am still encouraging you guys to join um, the Facebook group because I see names on here that I've never seen before. Thank you for joining us. So if you go to Facebook and go on there and hit Stark and Home Smart 10-week social media series, you can watch the replays. That's the biggest thing. The other thing is we want to get people involved in this group, and this group is not going to stop, by the way, at 10 weeks. We're going to keep this going. We're going to redo the webinars. We're going to add bonus webinars. We're going to do all kinds of fun things. So this is going to be the way that you can find out about it. Now, I keep getting tons of questions about the Next Level training series, and it's a training series that I'm doing live. It's designed to get people to over 50 deals a year, and a lot of people on this list that I'm looking at, they're laughing because I see you do 200-300 deals a year. But a lot of our agents, we do about 4 or 5 deals a year on average in our industry, and with a change of mindset and some skill set, we could easily do that, and that equates to one heck of an income for just about any other agent. So join that Facebook group, Next Level Training Series, and we're going to do the webinar series on that right after this. And it's 16 weeks long and a lot of information, but it's everything you need to know to, like I said, go to the next level. Okay. With that being said, my name is Mike Bjorkman. I'm the owner of HomeSmart NCG. We currently have 2 offices, one in Northridge, which is in Southern California, and Santa Clarita, which is also Southern California, right next to Magic Mountain. For those of you that kind of know the area, one of the reasons I do this is to obviously train our agents locally, but also expand the love out across the country because, again, most of you are, actually, I shouldn't even say that. A lot of you are default REO. I see we have a couple asset managers on here. Yes, we're going to teach your agents how to properly market property. What else? We have a lot of home smart agents. We have a lot of agents from all over different companies. But we want to get the message out. And Deanna Miller, she's our social media coordinator for all of our companies. She's awesome. We couldn't live without her. Social media is obviously mind-blowing, time-consuming, and confusing at times. So Deanna steps in. She takes complete control over that, and she's been able to grow several of our companies, not only HomeSmart, but Team Bjorkman and our property management company, SCV Leasing. And I wanted to publicly congratulate you, Deanna, for our friends that have hired you. I've heard nothing but raves, and their search engine optimization and their leads are coming through, and that's what this is all about: working a lot smarter and not harder. And I hate that cliche, but it's so darn true.
It really is true.
So, again, I talk about HomeSmart just for a few minutes because for these local agents that aren't with HomeSmart now, I want them to know what's going on. For $49 a month, you get the most unbelievable tools and technology. A couple of my favorite things are the websites. You can see a very basic one at mikebjorkman.com. We haven't done much to it yet, but just to give you an idea, the CRM is absolutely amazing. The seller CMA tools, the buyer tools. When you get a listing, it automatically creates a single property website, automatically creates a virtual tour, which is uploaded to YouTube, does so many amazing things, QR codes, flyers, and the amount of marketing and training that is uploaded that we've done for this program is absolutely amazing. So just a few seconds on that. Oh, our transaction fees. I have to disclose they're different all over the country. And lower price range, it might be a little lower. And like for Orange County, for existence, they're a little higher. But in our 2 offices, it's $4.99 transaction fee. So with that being said, Deanna, let's boogie on. I'm going to spend
Oh,
just a
here we
minute.
go.
I'm just going to spend just a minute telling people how Buffer and Feedly has changed my career. Not only does it enable you to manage my social media, but when I get on there, it helps me because most of you, if you know me, know I'm a Facebook freak. I love Facebook and I don't like anything else. But I know that's not realistic because my LinkedIn brings in tons of business. I just don't like to manage it. So with Buffer, I'm able to see major results all the time and more importantly, track it. And we're going to get into that. Feedly, I'm sure Deanna does not have these on her slides. So I'm going to give you a quick tip for real estate agents across the country. We always want to know what to do to get in touch with our certain clients. Now, if we follow them on social media, we know what their likes are, we know what their hobbies are, we know what their families are, and we can actually pick like what I do in my top 100 list. There's 100 people that will do anything for me. They'll take a bullet, they'll refer to me every day. Those are the people I like to stay in contact with amazingly. So what we do is we schedule certain things. So if they like beach camping, I'll type in beach camping in Feedly and I'll get certain articles. And then that way I can send a link to them directly through a private message and say, hey, Joe, I saw this. I thought of you. Hope everything's well. I just sold a home around the corner from you. You wouldn't believe the prices. Give me a call on my cell. Here it is. Make sure you store it in your phone. I'll always be able to help you. So that is the way I prospect because it's too hot in Southern California to go knock on doors. I don't like chasing my open house signs around in the wind. So I like to prospect from a computer. So that's your great tip for realtors today. Use it not just for blasting social media to the public about relevant content about your business, but use it really creatively. And I think there's a word that Deanna used, thoughtful posts. Well, this is thoughtful PMs. And even if your wife's into cooking or husband's into barbecuing, use it and say, hey, honey, check this out. I found a new recipe for you. It's kind of interesting and you learn how to do it that way. Okay, girl, it's time for you to blow our minds. I'll shut up. I'll even go on mute. Okay, go.
All right, so to get started, let's just talk a little bit about each of the tools. We'll talk a little bit about getting started, signing up if you don't already have a Buffer or a Feedly account. And then we'll hop on to the web and we'll go through some of the different basic uses. And really, the great thing about Buffer is that it's tested and it's working and people love it, and there's a lot of other tools out there. I always talk about Hootsuite as its alternate, but I used Hootsuite for years, and when Buffer hit the market a few years ago and I was asked to beta test it, so before it actually launched, I loved it instantly, even with all of the bugs and things that had to be worked out of it. So to this date, Buffer has over 1.4 million users, so there are a lot of people using Buffer. And the reason why is that it's really simple to integrate to your web browser. It's really simple to use with a lot of different tools like Twitter and Facebook. So once you already have an account, it's super easy to get started. And thanks to Google, I don't know if a lot of you have ever heard of Google Reader, but a long time ago, Google created something called Google Reader, which allowed you to crowdsource, to add different blogs, news, locations, all this great online content into one area to read it on a regular basis. They had a great app, and then Google killed it out of nowhere for no reason. And then thanks to them, Feedly now has 15 million users and growing every single day. So if you were familiar with an RSS feed, if you're familiar with Google Reader, Feedly is very, very similar to those types of things. So any place that you would store online articles, blogs, any kind of content or information that you might want to share later or read later. There's a lot of different apps for mobile phones and things like that, but Feedly is definitely my favorite. And one of the reasons why is because it integrates really, really well with Buffer. So right now on Feedly, 40 million websites connect their content to Feedly, and that continues to grow. So there's really great resources like Harvard Business Review, Good Housekeeping, Martha Stewart, Enterprise, all these different really great online content providers have all